I'll never forget the 2015 RX 350 that rolled into my shop last summer. Only 92,000 miles, immaculate condition. One owner who babied it religiously, but the engine was destroyed. Warped cylinder heads, blown head gasket, internal damage that required a complete engine replacement. Total cost? $9,500. The cause? A $15 radiator cap that failed and went unnoticed for too long. That's the brutal truth about cooling systems. They're the most overlooked system in your Lexus, yet cooling system failure is the #1 cause of catastrophic engine damage. Most owners check their oil religiously. They rotate tires on schedule. They change air filters without fail. But the cooling system, it's ignored until steam pours from under the hood. Here's what 24 years of working on Lexus vehicles has taught me. Cooling system failures are almost entirely preventable. The engines I've seen destroyed by overheating didn't have to die. Their owners just didn't know the simple maintenance habits that keep cooling systems healthy forever. Today, I'm sharing the complete strategy for lifetime cooling system preservation. These aren't the basic tips in your owner's manual. These are professional-level techniques that prevent every common failure point. Keep watching, because following these strategies will ensure your Lexus never overheats and your engine lasts hundreds of thousands of miles. Let's build an indestructible cooling system. Foundation 1. Coolant replacement. Every 50,000 miles, the golden rule. This is where most cooling system problems begin. Old degraded coolant. Your owner's manual might say 100,000 miles or even lifetime coolant. Ignore that advice if you want true longevity. Here's what happens to coolant over time. The pH drops and it becomes acidic. This acid attacks aluminum engine components, rubber hoses, and water pump seals. Rust inhibitors deplete. Without them, internal corrosion begins destroying your engine from the inside. Antifreeze protection weakens. Your coolant might not protect against freezing or boiling as designed. Electrolysis accelerates. Electrical current in the coolant corrodes metal components prematurely. I've opened engines with 150,000 miles on original coolant. The internal passages were coated with rust and scale. Water pump impellers were corroded. Heater cores were partially clogged. All preventable with regular coolant replacement. Your schedule: fresh coolant every 50,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. Use genuine Lexus super long life pink coolant or equivalent. Never mix different coolant types. This causes gel formation that clogs passages. Mix 50-50 with distilled water, never tap water. Minerals in tap water accelerate corrosion dramatically. This single habit prevents 70% of cooling system failures. Foundation 2. The monthly coolant level check. Most drivers never look at their coolant reservoir until it's too late. Low coolant is an early warning system. It tells you something's wrong before catastrophic damage occurs. Check your coolant level monthly when the engine is cold. Locate the coolant reservoir, usually a translucent plastic tank near the radiator. Check the level against the MIN and max marks on the tank. Level should be between these marks when cold, closer to max when the engine is at operating temperature. If you're constantly adding coolant, you have a leak. Small leaks become big problems fast. Common leak sources: radiator intakes cracking from age and heat cycles, hose connections loosening or hose deterioration, water pump weep hole indicating seal failure, heater core leaking into the cabin, head gasket leaking externally or internally. Never ignore coolant loss. Find and fix leaks immediately, even small ones. Low coolant causes localized hot spots that warp cylinder heads and crack engine blocks. Foundation 3. The radiator cap nobody checks. That $15 radiator cap is one of the most critical components in your cooling system. The cap maintains system pressure, typically 13 to 16 psi depending on your model. This pressure raises the coolant's boiling point to about 265 degrees Fahrenheit. When the cap fails, pressure drops and coolant boils at lower temperatures. This causes overheating, steam, and potential engine damage. Radiator caps wear out. The rubber seals harden. The spring weakens. Pressure drops below specification. Most drivers never think about the radiator cap until it fails catastrophically. Your strategy: replace the radiator cap every 60,000 miles or 5 years as preventive maintenance. Inspect the cap during every coolant change. Look for cracked rubber, corrosion, or weak spring tension. If your Lexus runs hot but nothing else is wrong, test or replace the cap first. It's the cheapest potential fix. Always use OEM or equivalent caps rated for your system's pressure. Cheap caps often fail prematurely. A $15 cap prevents thousands in engine damage. Foundation 4. Thermostat, maintenance, and testing. Your thermostat regulates engine temperature by controlling coolant flow to the radiator. When thermostats fail, they usually stick closed, causing rapid overheating. Less commonly, they stick open, preventing the engine from reaching proper operating temperature. Both conditions damage your engine over time. Testing your thermostat is simple. Start with a cold engine and feel the upper radiator hose. Start the engine and monitor the temperature gauge. Once the gauge reaches operating temperature, usually around 190 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, the upper radiator hose should become hot. If the hose stays cold after the engine is fully warm, the thermostat is stuck closed. If the engine takes forever to warm up or never reaches normal temperature, the thermostat is stuck open. Replace thermostats every 100,000 miles as preventive maintenance, or immediately if you suspect failure. Always install OEM thermostats. Aftermarket units often open at incorrect temperatures, causing poor engine performance and accelerated wear. Also, always replace the thermostat gasket or O-ring. Reusing old gaskets causes leaks. Foundation 5. Radiator inspection and cleaning. Your radiator is the heat exchanger that actually cools the coolant. When it's clogged or damaged, your entire cooling system fails. External radiator cleaning removes debris that blocks airflow. Inspect the radiator fins for bent sections, debris, or blockages. Use compressed air to blow out bugs, leaves, and dirt from between the fins. Never use a pressure washer on radiators. The pressure bends delicate fins and reduces cooling efficiency. Straighten bent fins carefully with a fin comb, available at auto parts stores for $10. Clean the area between the radiator and condenser. Debris accumulates in this hidden space. Internal radiator cleaning happens during coolant replacement. Add cooling system flush product to old coolant and run the engine for 15 minutes. Drain completely and flush with distilled water until it runs clear. Refill with fresh coolant mixture. This removes scale, rust, and deposits that reduce radiator efficiency. Clean radiators dissipate heat properly. Clogged radiators cause overheating even with perfect coolant. Foundation 6. Water pump preservation. The water pump is the heart of your cooling system, circulating coolant through the engine and radiator. When water pumps fail, engines overheat within minutes. But pump failure is almost always preceded by warning signs. Listen for these water pump failure indicators: squealing or grinding noises from the front of the engine, visible coolant leaking from the weep hole below the pump, rough bearing feel when spinning the pump pulley by hand, play or wobble in the pump shaft. Inspect your water pump every 60,000 miles. Look for coolant residue around the pump, indicating seal failure. Check the drive belt for coolant contamination, another sign of pump leakage. Listen for bearing noise during cold starts, when worn bearings are most audible. Most Lexus water pumps last 120,000 to 150,000 miles with proper coolant maintenance. Neglected coolant causes premature pump failure by corroding seals and bearings. Replace water pumps at the first sign of failure. Running a failing pump damages the engine within miles. For timing belt engines, always replace the water pump with the timing belt. The labor overlap makes pump replacement nearly free. Foundation 7. Hose and clamp inspection. cooling system hoses carry hot pressurized coolant throughout your engine. When they fail, you're stranded and at risk of engine damage. Hoses degrade from the inside out. They look fine externally, but develop internal cracks and weak spots. Inspect hoses every 60,000 miles. Squeeze hoses when cold. They should feel firm and resilient, not soft, squishy, or rock hard. Look for bulging sections indicating internal liner separation. Check for surface cracks, especially where hoses bend. Inspect hose ends where they connect to components. This is where failures usually occur. Feel for soft spots or collapsed sections. Replace any hose showing these signs immediately. Don't wait for failure. Also inspect hose clamps. Spring clamps can lose tension over time. Replace with proper worm gear clamps for better security. Check for rust or corrosion on clamps. Ensure clamps are positioned correctly, not over hose ends where they can cut the rubber. Tighten loose clamps, but don't over-tighten. This can damage hoses. Quality coolant hoses last 100,000 plus miles. Cheap hoses fail in 50,000 miles. Always use OEM or premium aftermarket hoses. A $40 hose replacement prevents being stranded and potential engine damage from coolant loss. Foundation 8. Cooling fan testing and maintenance. Electric cooling fans move air through the radiator when your Lexus isn't moving fast enough to generate natural airflow. When fans fail, your engine overheats in traffic or at idle but runs fine on highways. Test your cooling fans regularly. Turn on the air conditioning with the engine running. Both cooling fans should activate immediately. Let the engine reach operating temperature while idling. Fans should cycle on as needed. Listen for unusual noises from fan motors, indicating bearing wear. Check fan blades for cracks or damage that reduces airflow. Common fan system problems: failed fan motors that won't spin, blown fuses interrupting power to fans, failed relays preventing fan activation, faulty temperature sensors not triggering fans. If you notice your temperature gauge climbing in traffic or at idle, check your cooling fans first. Also, keep the fan area clean. Debris can jam fan blades or block airflow through the radiator. Foundation 9. Heater core maintenance. Your heater core is a small radiator inside the dashboard that provides cabin heat. When heater cores fail, they leak coolant into your cabin, creating sticky residue on windows and dashboard, plus a sweet smell. But heater core failure is often preventable. Always use proper coolant mixture. Straight water or wrong coolant types corrode heater cores. Never bypass or block heater core flow. Some owners do this when heater cores leak, but it disrupts entire cooling system flow. Flush the heater core during cooling system service. Many techs skip this, allowing deposits to accumulate. Replace coolant on schedule. Old acidic coolant destroys heater cores from the inside. If your windshield fogs constantly despite defroster use, or you smell coolant inside the cabin, suspect heater core leakage. Heater core replacement costs $800 to $1,500 because of dashboard removal labor. Prevention through proper maintenance is far cheaper. Foundation 10. Avoid overheating at all costs. Once an engine overheats significantly, damage occurs that no maintenance can reverse. Aluminum cylinder heads warp when overheated. This causes head gasket failure, coolant mixing with oil, and catastrophic damage. If your temperature gauge enters the red zone, pull over immediately and turn off the engine. Every second matters. Don't open the radiator cap while hot. Pressurized coolant can cause severe burns. Let the engine cool for at least 30 minutes before investigating. Check coolant level only after cooling. Add coolant if needed. Identify and fix the cause before driving. Don't risk further damage. Have the engine inspected after severe overheating. Hidden damage often appears later. One overheating incident can destroy engines that would otherwise last 300,000 miles. Foundation 11. The hybrid cooling system. Different hybrid Lexus models have dual cooling systems, one for the engine, one for the hybrid inverter and battery. Both systems require maintenance. Engine coolant follows the same 50,000-mile replacement schedule. Inverter coolant should also be replaced every 50,000 miles. Many owners forget this second system. Check both reservoirs monthly. Low inverter coolant triggers warning lights and reduces hybrid system efficiency. Hybrid inverter cooling failures can cost $3,000 to $5,000 to repair. Prevention through regular coolant service is essential. Foundation 12. Use only approved coolant types. Modern Lexus vehicles use specific coolant formulations for good reasons. Lexus Super Long Life Pink coolant is designed for aluminum engines with hybrid components. Using wrong coolant types causes gel formation. When incompatible coolants mix, accelerated corrosion of aluminum components, damage to hybrid system cooling passages, premature water pump and thermostat failure. Never use universal green coolant in modern Lexus vehicles. The different chemistry attacks aluminum and causes problems. If you must top off in an emergency with different coolant, flush and replace the entire system immediately afterward. Stick with OEM or equivalent pink coolant formulated for Asian aluminum engines. Foundation 13. Professional pressure testing. Even with perfect maintenance, cooling systems can develop invisible problems. Annual pressure testing identifies issues before they cause breakdowns. System pressure test reveals small leaks that aren't visually obvious. Radiator cap testing confirms it maintains proper pressure. Combustion leak test detects head gasket problems before catastrophic failure. Many independent shops offer free cooling system pressure tests. Take advantage of this service annually. Catching a small leak early costs $50 to $200 to fix. Ignoring it until catastrophic failure costs thousands. The forever cooling system mindset. Making your cooling system last forever requires consistent attention to details most owners ignore. Fresh coolant every 50,000 miles prevents acid damage. Monthly level checks catch leaks early. Regular inspections identify wear before failure. Quality parts prevent premature component breakdown. Proper driving habits avoid unnecessary stress. These habits compound over hundreds of thousands of miles. At 100,000 miles, the difference is small. At 250,000 miles, it's the difference between original cooling system and complete replacement. Your Lexus engine is designed to last 400,000 plus miles. The cooling system is engineered to match that longevity, but only if you maintain it properly. Ignore your cooling system, and even the best Lexus engine won't survive past 150,000 miles. Follow these strategies, and your cooling system will outlast your ownership. The choice is yours. Proactive maintenance or catastrophic failure. I know which one I'd choose. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.